too big of pussies to actually do it, but that would be
Yeah,
fucking sick.
that would be
like
amazing.
actually cutting into yourself that way
Yeah,
is
dude,
like actually just psychologically difficult, and then it takes a while to bleed out.
And physically
I can
difficult,
handle
yeah.
it.
You gotta be
I could
truly
probably do it,
hardcore
but I
to do
just don't
that.
have it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like I said,
To
I
reveal
understand
the
like
truth.
struggle.
What's that guy from
I
like
could
some
pull it
metal
off.
band who like killed himself in a very brutal way, like basically like slitting his throat and slitting a bunch of other things? Oh, I forget what his name was. Like he was like this weird guy in like a black metal band, and he just like slit his throat and cut up all his
Oh,
body.
the Mayhem guy.
Yeah, yeah.
He was the first guy in Mayhem to die.
No, the Mayhem guy shot himself.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, the main guy shot
Well,
himself.
there was a guy who just like mutilated himself to death, and it was just like very beautiful and like willful, you know, like almost powerful. Like you gotta respect it, no matter what you think about suicide. You gotta be like, oh yeah, that guy had spirit.
Yeah, I mean, are you thinking? Because I posted pictures of the first guy in Burzum to die, the guy who killed himself, and you were like, "You're an aesthetic degenerate for posting like gore."
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'll say that. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah, like yeah. I'm probably thinking of that guy because yeah, they make like they made like an album of it, like an album cover out of it, didn't they?
Yeah, death.
Yeah, that was the guy who
on
shot
the
himself in
album
the
cover.
head.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, shooting yourself in the face is easily one of the most aesthetically repulsive things you can do, man. Like, what is it? Like, lacerations and blood are aesthetic, but like gore, like brains, are not. Right?
Yeah.
Crucial difference, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, the most like in terms of like brutal and willful suicides that aren't aesthetically appealing, the most fucking intense shit I ever heard was this guy who I feel like similar case, right? But where somebody like just holds like a sharp object and just throws their fucking head against it. That shit is like fucking insane to me. Like pencils up the nose, or the craziest one I heard was a guy who fucking like held two forks and just threw his fucking head down and like put the forks into his eyes and killed himself. Like that shit is metal as fuck. But oh my god, that's
Yeah.
revolting. Oh my god, I'm like closing, like rubbing my eyes, just thinking about it. Fuck, I hate that shit. Ugh. But dude, but that is kind of sick. Like that's crazy to pull off, you know.
Yeah. Takes spirit.
Oh, did you guys hear about the guy where it was like it was like in like a small fucking like town in England or whatever, but like the kid spent like months like woodworking to build a guillotine that he eventually laid in and used like to decapitate himself.
No, I didn't hear about that. But yeah, that's amazing.
Dude, no, it's fucking.
Those kinds of like
crazy.
long-term planned suicides are interesting because they have like good executive function. They can be creative and they're still killing themselves. And I find that kind of fascinating.
Sorry, my shit crashed. Gab, is this the picture that you're talking about?
Yeah.
It goes hard.
Yeah. Nobody cares about you, Edith. Don't ever announce your presence again.
Okay, that was that the picture you were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like with the suicide thing, right? I feel like a similar thing like goes for like homicide, right? It's like if you're gonna kill somebody, if you're gonna kill yourself, at least make it look like sick as fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you're just gonna shoot yourself, if you're just gonna like jumping off. Okay, so like jumping off from a ledge is, you know, not necessarily aesthetically appealing, like from an outside perspective, but I think it does have like a strong like poetic sort of force to it, right?
Yeah, like the internal plus spiritual part of it is really beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like letting go. Yeah, there's something deeply like powerful about that.
Yeah, it's very Taoistic.
I feel like this picture of Dead is actually pretty aesthetic, despite being brain blown out, because the lower face is still there, you know. So
Yeah,
like, given that Dead didn't have a particularly unattractive face, you know, you still have like the outlines of this beauty, but then it's just kind of disrupted by the gore, and I think that actually is like pretty aesthetically pleasing.
I like how we're just looking at gore photos and we're like, the way his brain is delivered to the wall.
Yeah, you fucking degenerates belong on a cross.
If you're gonna rape a child, you need to at least rape the child in like an aesthetic way.
But like, if you're actually gonna kill somebody,
Yeah, you gotta be lemon. You gotta be palate maxing no matter what you do. So even if you're doing something dark and evil, you have to do it in the most aesthetic, refined, and just like sophisticated way.
Yeah. Yeah,
It would be
this-
better. It
yeah.
would be better though if his eyes were fully removed by the shotgun blast. I will say.
Yeah.
I feel like the partial remnant of his
Alright,
eyes
alright.
is just very uncanny. If it were just,
You see,
the nose and mouth and below, that would be.
I wasn't actually looking at the picture, by the way. But yeah, that was what I was talking about.
Yeah, I currently have my phone closed right now, and I really don't know if I want to look at this picture. Actually, I'm not sure if this is something that I want to see.
So to describe it to you, and if you want to decide if it's something that you want to see, it's a Norwegian man from a black metal band who has shot himself in seemingly the forehead with a shotgun. There's also a knife in the picture. He's pretty covered in blood, and there are what I can only assume are shit that used to be inside of his head that are outside of it.
Very wholesome.
Fascinating.
That's
Yeah.
a good photo.
Yeah, very, very.
Yeah, we're gonna kill these people
Did you
in
just
a
delete it?
non-gore fashion so that we're not like them, you know. For being into this kind of gore, we're gonna kill them very cleanly.
It's also just imagine walking in on this scene, and then
Being
say
like,
you're on this.
I'm gonna photograph this shit.
You walk in on this scene, and then your immediate thought is, "Wow, I need to take a photograph of this to put it on the album cover."
Dude,
Well,
the
keep in mind, he didn't just
The grind
photograph
never
it.
stops.
He took trophies from the corpse and he rearranged things in the photo for the photo to look better on the album cover. Like he moved around the shotgun and the knife.
These fucking
he
Norwegian
found
black
his
metal
body and then he
people were
staged the
psychotic,
photo.
man.
And what did he do? He kept the dude's bones or something.
Yeah, he kept some skull fragments.
Skull fragments, yeah, and he made a necklace.
I remember I think I had a conversation about this with Lucas, right? Just about the overly kind of nihilistic, psychotic attitudes these Norwegian black metal bands have, right? Where they're so edgy, right? That it ends up being kind of embarrassing. Weirdly enough, they're just so they lean so hard into this fucking just kind of shockingly depraved behavior that it's just kind of weird and just kind of like I said, it's kind of embarrassing on their behalf,
Yeah, well, especially since it's wow, they're these kind of nerdy D&D Scandinavian men.
Yeah, D&D.
Winter Wonderland.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll never forgive you guys.
What do you have to be angsty about?
I'll never forgive you guys for putting me in the D&D/Family Guy quadrant.
Oh, that was because someone had to be in there. That wasn't an insult to you.
Did I? I can do that. I wouldn't put you.
That was Emily, yeah.
I would put you leaning schizo and in the Seinfeld quadrant.
The only reason you're in there is that Emily had a plan for everyone else, and then someone else had to be D&D and Family Guy. So yeah.
I'm not who made this.
So
wait, from my memory are.
Yeah, Emily, I thought you were the one who made the ones for the group chat with me, Darren, Chris.
No, someone else made it, and I did stupid edits of them. But
I made the template. I made the template.
No, I know, but the original one that was the group chat members.
Oh yeah, Darren made the first one. Yes, you're right. Yep, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
And then I started making stupid edits of Darren's. Yeah.
Fucking Darren.
Yeah, you're right.
That's Darren.
Yeah, Darren. Do you want Chris to literally die or something? Wow.
Yeah. Darren's not here anymore. Yeah.
Darren's not here. Fuck.
He might kill himself.
No, Darren's not here. He's going to bed.
No. Yeah, he's probably killing himself because we're talking about suicide in a very artistic way.
He's probably raping himself. He's probably raping himself.
Yeah.
He's probably raping someone who isn't himself. No, I'm just sending
you raping buckets.
Yeah, as people who know him well, that's definitely what he's doing,
Allah. Oh, okay, I didn't pay that much attention to it, but there's this new Muslim on the
that's so funny.
I thought she left.
She left?
I think so.
I didn't even know it was a she, but that's really funny.
Yeah, she got pissed off. And it was just I don't think this is for me.
Well, the way she was defending herself was really funny. Just these very quasi-relativistic platitudes of oh yeah, you have that perception, I don't have that perception, kind of stuff that a lot of apologists do, and it was just so funny. And they were trying to make everything about character virtue and character vice, so every argument reflected on your character, and that's all there was to it. And it was just really, it's really funny.
Yeah,
very much
that's
an
the typical,
archetype.
proponent of Islam, the worst religion in the world.
Well, yeah, it's the only way to like even defend it, and it's not even defending it. It's just like being evasive.
Yeah, maybe I'm being like close-minded here, but like I like strongly believe that like Islam is like the most fucking boring and retarded like world religion
Oh yeah, obviously,
that there
like,
is.
there are literally no redeeming factors.
Definitely like
The only
horrifically reactionary.
Like
only,
comically
like,
evil, comically boring, comically ugly. Like just nothing.
the only like component of like Islam that like anybody I know praises is like Sufism, right? And Sufism
Yeah, like the
isn't
mysticism.
even
Yeah,
like as interesting. Yeah, and it's not even as, at least from what I can tell, it's not nearly as interesting. It's just like, fuck, even Christian mystics kind of have them beat in terms of like philosophical sophistication, right? Let alone like the actual like Neoplatonists, right, and Vedantins. So yeah, it's just, I mean, like it's just I don't understand why, and it's weird too because like a lot of like the perennialist like schizos like converted to Islam, and I don't fucking know why, right? I mean.
Because it's like right-wing coded. It's
Yeah,
like
probably
harder
that.
and tougher than Christianity.
Yeah, that would make
That's
sense.
literally all it is.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, Ebola.
It's like why
like,
Andrew
like,
Tate did it. Same exact reason.
Because like what is it like Rene Guénon like converted to Islam. I think what Guénon said is he said, yeah, Advaita Vedanta is like probably closer to the truth, but like Islam's more palatable to Westerners, so that's what I'm gonna like propound, which is like incredibly gay. And then Evola's like kind of Evola's a syncretist, right? I mean, obviously, he like engaged like magical practices, but he didn't like subscribe to a particular faith. Then Algis, like I said, can't pronounce his last name. The guy who wrote Philosophy and Theurgy, he was also a Muslim. But I guess it's I guess like when you're a perennialist, right, and you think the kind of boundaries between the religions are kind of loose, and like Islam does have this kind of like right wing, like hard aesthetic to it, that would kind of draw you to it, right? And it's
so like being a bad person draws you to it.
Yeah, already being retarded like, morally will draw you to.
And then like you're like schizo, but you're also like an evil retard. Yeah. Because like you're gonna be like a schizo like mystic. I mean Christianity has a good thing going for it. Hinduism obviously, Zen maybe, but I mean come on, fuck it. I mean like better yet, just be like a weird kind of like a not explicitly religious, like pagan who just like syncretizes various different religions. Like that's what you should go with, but you're gonna commit to like an explicit set. I mean like.
Keep you.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, like
okay.
Islam's like the gayest, like mystical route you can go.
I don't remember the name, but there was like this one anarchist who was like semi-prominent within like a certain subculture, who was like an Islamic mystic. But eventually, he got canceled because not only was he an Islamic mystic, he was like a pro-contact pedophile, and he related it to like his Islamic mysticism. So he wrote like these pedophile poems. In the light of like Islamic mysticism, comparing like little boys to like angelic rays of light, it was just like so funny and just like so like the most evil religion conceivable, plus being like a pro-contact pedophile. It's just like so funny.
That is so fucking awesome. That's
yeah, he was truly just like Muhammad in the flesh,
Dude, yeah. Okay, so I just want to say, right, when people call themselves like mystics, right, what exactly do they mean by that? Because I know that 99% of these people aren't actually like engaging in any sort of like meditative or ascetic practices that would be called mystic by any standards.
For a lot of people, it's like a certain form of like irrationalism, which is like not the kind of mysticism I promote. Like I often call myself like a rational mystic or like a rationalistic mystic, kind of like there's not like these hardcore epistemic limitations on reason. Well, like if I call something ineffable, it's not because I can't understand it. It's because that's just its objective, like metaphysical status. But yeah, there's like a lot of mystics who are like literally just like fedoras, and like that's like the mysticism.
It's so stupid. It's like Sam Harris's like mysticism. It's like, don't get me wrong, I like Sam Harris's like takes on meditation, right? I think he like it as like
he's literally enlightened. He's so calm that it's magical.
I remember us talking about that, right? Like where it's like even if he's saying like the dumbest shit ever about like meta ethics, like he says it in such like a calm, like just like chilled out way, it's like, you know what? Maybe he's right. Maybe The Moral Landscape is a good book.
Yeah. I would say it's okay normative ethics, and it's not good not good meta ethics. But to be fair, there like is no good ethical naturalist meta ethics. So like it's just kind of, it's almost the professional standard anyway.
It's not like a unique failure on his part.
Yeah. Because I remember like when I first like got into philosophy, I was like wondering why people were blasting that book, and that's sort of what got me into like real philosophy. And like most of it's just like, oh well, ethical naturalism is just like obviously false for like really good reasons. I was like, okay, yeah, like I'm starting to agree with that, as I was like getting into that literature. But then I started reflecting upon like, well, Sam Harris is just being like a normal academic ethical naturalist. So this is not him being like an unprofessional neophyte. This is just him being a dumb naturalist,
Yeah, exactly. And it's about like mysticism, because I've thought about them before, and it's like it's obvious that I have like a lot of sort of like mystical like leanings, like inclinations, right? But I never call myself a mystic, because that's like a job title, right? That's just like for real. I mean, like Meister Eckhart was actually out there doing his shit, like staying in that like dark room, doing nothing. Same with like Julian of whatever, and then
Julian of whatever. Shout out to Julian of whatever.
Well, okay, number one, fuck you too. I just remembered.
No, I'm not making fun of you. I'm not making fun of you. Like I just liked how it was just like a funny phrase.
Fun of you, Julian of what? Julian of what? You know nothing, retard.
Yeah. Well, now I know it's Julian Norway. But yeah, it's like, dude, like that's like a job title. Like that shit is like serious, So it's like, even though I definitely have like sort of a mystical sensibility, it's like I take it too seriously to call myself one. But yeah, what you were saying about like rational mysticism is like, dude, I'm totally on board with that. It's like half the time people call mystical experiences like ineffable, right, or beyond logic. It's just cope because they're too scared that their like pathetic like emotional sensibilities about what reality is like will crumble under like logical scrutiny. And like normally when I say that, it sounds like fedora, but it's like no, I have like like my sort of like romanticism, I think, is like completely compatible with like rationalism, right? Just because something isn't carried out in like the whole analytic, like, well, if P is Q, it isn't carried out in that manner, doesn't mean that it's incompatible with reason, right? I mean,
well, it would be like calling like a conceptual primitive like an antithetical thing to reason, which like some people actually believe in analytic philosophy, but like it's still kind of like a silly position. It's just like, it's not like like anathema to reason to have like something that you can't explain in more fundamental terms, because like that's not necessarily like an epistemic limitation. That just might be like a metaphysical quality to it. Like there's nothing more fundamental than it. That's not like hostile to reason somehow.
Yeah, and it's like because if you feel like if you have like a mystical experience, or feel like a transcendent yearning, right, for something greater, and you have like a rationally like, if you have like a rational, like thoughtful metaphysics, right, that accounts for that and incorporates that experience in it, then by every stretch of the imagination, I would say that kind of mysticism is amenable to reason, right? Because it fits into this rational picture of the world. And so when people, so like, there's a difference between saying, oh, the experience is ineffable. Well, every fucking experience is ineffable, right? If you've never had coffee before, I can't tell you how it tastes just by describing it. Well, I mean, okay, I think people exaggerate just how ineffable experiences are. I feel like some people just like don't have a good enough imagination, because if I think really hard, I can kind of picture what things are like. But anyways,
if you use your IQ,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you think about it,
I feel like I could probably, to someone who has somewhat like of a culinary vocabulary, like it wouldn't be that hard to explain what coffee tastes like.
Yeah, and like saying
it's like earthy, it's bitter. It's not that complicated.
Yeah. And so, I feel like people exaggerate just how ineffable, right, and exclusive experiences are in general. But, even granted that they are exclusive, right? If you have, like, a transcendent mystical experience, right, and only you understand, like, how it felt, right, what it was like phenomenologically, if you draw, like, a retarded metaphysical conclusion from that, like, the moment you start making metaphysical commitments or conclusions, those come under rational scrutiny, right? And just because you had a really, really powerful experience doesn't mean that those metaphysical commitments are any less amenable to reason. But like I said, I mean, all of my sort of like powerful, mystical experiences I incorporate them in metaphysics that I think is rational, that I've thought through, and I think is, amenable to like further like logical corrections. so I don't, wall off that like part of my experience of the world from another experience, right? And it's like
Preach.
we talked about like that's the sort of thing that I was talking about earlier, right? How I think there's a continuity between like divine sort of interest, transcendent concerns, and sort of like imminent human concerns, right? That kind of principle of like non-dualism is something that's also really important to me when it comes to our cognitive faculties, right? I obviously, thinking about something logically is different than, experiencing a beautiful work of art, but there's no like rigid, like magical distinction where it's like, okay, like aestheticization has ended. It is time for reason, right? I feel like that's kind of like a bad distinction to make, right?
Yes.
Ultimately, if you have like a well integrated like intellectual approach, they're going to kind of spill over into each other, and the boundaries are going to be messy. So yeah, I do kind of in the same way I advocate like for a kind of like a breaking down the barrier between the divine and the immanent. I kind of want to break down the barrier between aesthetic mystical experiences and sort of rational analytic endeavors, right? And there's like better and worse ways to do each one, but I feel like the strong gap it's kind of like like the fact value distinction, right? Some people kind of have good motivation where it's like, look, I don't want to have like mystical experience like come under the scrutiny of science that might devalue spirituality, and so I wall it off, right?
Yeah.
Similarly, it's like I'm going to keep value safe from like scientific reductionism. But I mean, even though I understand the motivation, it's deeply misguided because like values set off from facts and mysticism set off from reason. It's like a counterfeit mysticism and it's a counterfeit idea of values. So I mean, ultimately, I feel like that distinction has to come down. And since the naturalists are already wrong, we don't have to worry about you know anything coming out of the scrutiny because like they can't account for it in the first place. So yeah,
Like that's always something I found interesting is that how different like the fact value distinction is from something like an Izok gap, or how different it is from something like ethical naturalism versus ethical non-naturalism, etc. proper. Because I feel like the fact value distinction can be denied under like almost any meta-ethical system, especially non-naturalism. But I remember like early on when I was getting into like meta-ethics, a lot of people kind of like confused those issues as they were like bundled. Like for example, if you're like a Morian non-naturalist, you had to accept a fact value distinction. And I feel like that's kind of like a semi-popular misconception.
yeah. No, because it's what is it like Putnam? I think I mean, like Putnam's kind of like ethics about ontology. Like he doesn't really, he like rejects like being categorized as like either a naturalist or a non-naturalist, right? But I like the way he kind of talks about Moore implies that he thinks that, like Moore's like argument against moral naturalism is basically correct, right?
Yeah.
But he still, rejects like the fact value dichotomy. And I think rejecting the fact value dichotomy comes more towards, I think it's more of a semantic point than in like an ontological one. It's less about how, like moral propositions, right? Like kind of tack onto the world, right? Or like what kind
Yeah.
of like properties out there in the world like instantiate them. And it's more about, right, like this idea of like a matter of fact, right, can be separated from like what it's good to do, right? So sort of like what it's good to do, right? What we ought to do, what we should do, blends over into like facts about what there is in a
Yeah.
way that where we can't really draw a hard line between them in any sort of meaningful way. That like, all of like the facts that we assert about the world, whenever we assert a particular fact, like the cat is on the mat, right?
Yeah.
Um, me picking out a particular kind of animal, a cat, shows that I, have like certain like there's certain like things that I'm interested in like conveying to you, right? Okay, it's a certain species, right? It's on a map, right? I care about like where it is, like in its sort of location in space, right? I could conceive of a person who sees the cat on the mat and says a completely different fact, right? It's still true because they're not really interested in conveying that kind of information, right?
Yeah.
And you
Like
can kind of
you
like
might state
replace
what
this
you call like an evaluative fact. Like if you take like metaphysical posits seriously of like a broadly like modal kind, like let's say you have like states of affairs or whatever. Like I think especially in that kind of context, the fact value distinction is totally unnecessary because it's like, well, all I'm doing is like stating a bunch of these metaphysical facts. Like, what is even this distinction? Like, of course, like normative facts can't be like reduced to like natural facts or like other kinds of facts. They're like in their own category, but like wordle distinctions between facts and values just kind of like I guess it's just like a inheritance from like a more confused era of meta ethics.
Yeah, mine. Yeah, I yearn. I actually don't yearn for anything because I know for a fact that Max Weber is already burning in hell. So we're safe on that front.
What?
Max Weber, he likes the fact value distinction.
Oh,
and
MX Weber. I don't know who that is.
No,
I
he's
thought-
the what is it? The
You mean Max
product.
Weber?
Max
Weber.
Weber.
Weber,
No,
yeah, Weber.
You're not
The
talking
product
about
or
Max
just-
Weber, are
yeah.
you?
Max Weber, pronounce it right.
Weber.
It's actually
Weber.
It's Max Weber.
It's
Max
actually
Weber.
Max Weber.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are so fucking smart, huh? Oh, look over here.
Yes, Mr. Weber.
No,
Yeah,
Chris, you and I are united in this. Like, we can talk eloquently about philosophy, but we'll just say random people's names
I'm not
wrong.
able to pronounce anyone's name.
Yeah, no,
No,
I
who-
am
who's
definitely
the guy-
allegiance
who's the
with
guy you're
Gab
talking
on
about?
like fucking up
Presumably not
people's
Max
names,
Weber, right?
What is like a. I really like I like how you pronounce it like Schopenhauer. I do
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like how that sounds more than Schopenhauer.
Yeah, I think Schopenhauer sounds a lot better than Schopenhauer. Like Schopenhauer, the way that starts isn't like very nice. Like Schopenhauer is a much more Anglophone kind of like reading.
Yeah, I think Simone Weil is Weil the correct pronunciation?
Veal? I would say Veal. Right.
Because
W
like
E
Weil
I L.
sounds harder. Like it sounds cool to call her Vile. I also called what is it? I called it Batil for a while.
Okay, that's not.
My greatest sin was for a year. I had like an almost dyslexic, systematic misreading of Perdone,
Yep.
like his name, where every time I saw his name, I hallucinated it to be Proudhorn. So for a while, I thought there was this French philosopher named Proudhorn.
No, I never. Okay, so whenever I saw like his name, number one, I did actually think it was pronounced Proudhon, but I couldn't help but imagining like the fucking like sheep in my head whenever I saw that stupid name.
Yeah, like it wasn't even like Proud Han or something. It was like Proud Horn. Like I was hallucinating an R in the fucking name. You know, like just like full on.
Yeah, I didn't have these problems because I speak French. So
Wait, do you actually speak French?
yes, I speak fluent French.
How do you pronounce Michael Foucault then?
Michel Foucault.
Pourquoi êtes-vous tous les chats?
Michel
Foucault.
Foucault.
One thing I like about John Searle is that every time he pronounces a fucking French philosopher's name, like in a speech, he has to do like the full accent as much as he can because he's like this fucking try-hard, pretentious academic. It's just like so funny.
As my good. And this is once mentioned by my good colleague, Michel Foucault.
Yeah.
Albert Camus.
Yeah.
Camus.
So funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth. It's worth
Yeah,
when I talk to Lemon because Lemon's into like. Lemon recently has been talking about like 1800s French gastronomy, so there's so many fucking French names.
Yeah.
And it reminds me when I was at like that philosophy conference with like Darren and them, right? We like did this bit like about like because Yuji Nagasawa was there, right? And newsflash, but he's Japanese, right? But this idea of like Paul Draper going up and in the middle of the talk being as my friend Nagasawa once pointed out, the problem of evil applied to Everest too, and just like doing like a horrifically racist like impression of him, and then just going back and like doing the rest of his talk.
Yeah. That
didn't
didn't happen. That's just something that would have been funny if it had happened.
No, it happened in real life, and everybody.
It happened in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. I also remember that. Yeah, at the conference, like I keep bringing it up, but like Daniel Dennett dying and me standing up, applauding, everybody cheering.
Yeah, I remember Darren texting me. He's like, "Yeah, we're celebrating at the Lemon conference."
Dennett died.
Yeah. I didn't spill tears over his death, mostly because he was like panicking over AI, and that was just kind of like bad for the world. So it's like, yeah, it's your time to die. He picked a good time to die. like so he can like destroy his legacy.
They're doing like a Westboro Baptist thing, but only for Dennett, where it's like Dennett dies, God laughs, God hates Dennett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah,
Uh,
God hates that fag.
what's that Westboro
Westboro Baptist.
Westboro Baptist, yeah, Westboro Baptist Church. What was that catchy phrase they had? Like, oh yeah, thank God for dead soldiers. Yeah.
Thank God for dead
Dude,
soldiers.
that's sick. I didn't know they
hates
had it like that.
Yeah, like that has style. I was like, oh, these people are kind of cool, even though they're not, you know.
What? God bless the dead. God loves dead soldiers or whatever.
Like, thank God for dead soldiers. I think that was just like the full phrase. It was just so.
Yeah, that's kind
There's
of funny.
a,
No, they definitely. I mean, how? Because there's definitely other like extremist churches in America. I mean, definitely the fact that Westboro Baptist Church became as much of a talking point as they were is because they do have like kind of a style to them. You know, they came up with some good slogans. Even shit as blunt as like "God hates fags."
Yeah,
You know?
Now, have you heard the like Westboro Baptist cover of Poker Face by Nicki Minaj? I mean, not
No,
Nicki Minaj,
yeah.
Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Dude, it's pretty fire. It's pretty good. Like they kind of eat.
Yeah, they're so cool. I remember like watching what was her name? The lady atheist YouTuber when I was like a teenager, when I was like 13.
Bionic Dance. So hopefully not.
Atheist Jacqueline Glenn. Her videos like this is when I was like 13, like just mocking the Westboro Baptist Church. Like I've been like watching videos of like people hating on the Westboro Baptist Church and just talking about the Westboro Baptist Church for so long. And I mean, I'm glad that they exist, frankly. Also,
Oh yeah.
um,
Total utility in the world increased.
there were like a number of years ago at this point, their patriarch dude like died, Fred something, and then like a bunch of the kids like sort of, you know, were able to get out of their religion and were like, oh yeah, we don't believe this anymore. Like we were brainwashed when we were kids. Like there's been all this like more recent stuff about Westboro Baptist Church members. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Hell yeah. They create good lore, you see.
Yeah.
That's why they're good for the world.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun.
It builds character.
Yeah.
It's a fun tale.
Trauma and abuse builds character.
No, but like I think it's literally like many of the kids, like basically the whole family were just like, oh yeah, we were so abused by our dad that like, you know, we're gonna like come forward and like overcorrect and be like SJWs now.
Oh god.
Nah, they're lying.
Oh, no.
A good man's reputation.
Oh no. Westboro Baptist Church to SJW. That's a bad pipeline. Oh my god.
I mean, it's probably like I mean, relative to the Westboro Baptist Church ideology, it's probably somewhat of an improvement.
Yeah, it's an improvement, but like, yeah, it's still very corruptive, you know?
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's definitely funny. And that's what's important, you know? That's the only important thing, you know?
Oh yeah, that's the only value.
Yeah, like funniness.
Funny or not.
You know, it's like how much we appreciate that Emily was like raped as a child, you know? It's hilarious and
Yeah, exactly. It's funny, so that makes it okay.
yeah, exactly. There you go.
Keep you.
Hashtag moral philosophy being solved right here.
Yeah.
Emily was raped as a child.
So fucking funny.
Literally so fucking funny.
Gonna die of laughter right now.
I'm never going to die.
Yeah. Imagine like someone who's like a social chameleon who like joins the server or something and they're trying to fit in, and they're like, yeah, I got raped once. Just like a lie. and just like trying to fit in of like, oh yeah, I need like an abuse story to like make these people like me. That'd be so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been raped before, but I wish I was. I hope I get
Yeah.
raped someday.
Yeah, there's still hope.
Yeah,
Never say
exactly, me
never.
too, because
No,
I hope that I get raped just for the jokes. You know, it seems fun to be
Yeah.
able to make the jokes.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think I'd want to be raped even for the jokes. Hot take in this environment. But yeah.
Hot take, yeah.
I'm not
You
sure
mean
I can
wrong
agree with
take.
that.
Wrong
well,
take.
well, you see, Gab, you have your truth, and I have mine. So we gotta leave it at that, you know.
Can I just like be the rapist and have like a cool story around that?
You dare put your mere subjective whims above the fact that A equals A?
Yeah. Yeah, to say otherwise is anti-life,
equals A.
anti-mind, anti-reality.
A equals A, therefore child rape is funny.
Yeah. I believe that.
Yeah, somebody like instead of doing that, yeah, I got raped as a child, just doing that. Yeah, no, I raped somebody before. Just like that, yeah.
Yeah, like two people were relating, you know, like, oh, you were the victim of that? Cool. Like we can bond. I was the perpetrator. You know, I can give you the other side.
You know, like how people like make those posts where it's like, oh, like my rapist killed himself, my rapist died, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I love the posts where people do where it's like the victim of my rape killed herself.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh Jesus Christ. Do you like some of you are Zoomers? I don't know if you've probably heard of this. It's like an infamous Reddit like AMA thread in like the early 2010s where they're like, yeah, we hear so much from rape victims. How about like rapists? Like, what's your story? And just like a flood of like
That's awesome.
like credible rapists were giving like their stories. And like some people were even sympathizing with them, like, oh, it must have been like so hard for you to like have done that to your moral character, kind of stuff. And people just like freaked the fuck out, like predictably, you know, like it spawned a lot of feminist analyses. It spawned like so many funny things, and like some of the rapists were just saying funny things, like you know, like I couldn't control myself due to like biological reasons, like men are like biologically rapists or something like that. It was just like such a amazing catastrophe.
Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, I've seen some of the archived posts, the archived responses, dude. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the stories were pretty like psychopathic and good. Like I remember this one guy who was like talking about how he lures insecure women to just like watch movies with him. And then like there's like he had like a 3-stage model of one kind of victim. The victim he liked the least was the one who was into his aggressiveness. So it was just like boring consensual sex. And then the best victims were the one that resisted. Awesome. And then the worst victim, and then like the second worst victims were the one who just like froze like fish and weren't like resisting enough. And so like, he ranked like how high quality the experience was depending on that. He was like, oh yeah, and also I'm pretty well liked, so like they like people probably wouldn't believe them if they accused me. It's just like this very psychopathic story. It was just like so funny.
Dude, no, yeah, raping like your rape victims. Fucking,
that guy Genghis podcast, I need to ask.
That's insane. Ranking your rape.
Is that guy Genghis Khan? Should we kill him on sight?
Probably. But yeah, it's so funny. Like he was actively annoyed at how there was like some relative frequency of consensual sex because some women would take his rape as just like an aggressive flirting sign, so they just be into it. It's just like he's like, damn it, it's consensual. It's not as good.
This is the worst rape ever.
Yeah, probably just like depressed afterwards. Like, I thought I was gonna have a good night.
You're a rape victim.
Sorry, what?
Come here, how to rape.
Imagine getting raped.
And then what? Oh, you're cutting out.
I can't hear you. You're cutting out of here.
Yeah, you need some real fucking internet.
Like logging onto Twitter.com and you see this thread where you're like an F tier rape victim.
Yeah, like an S tier. Yeah, yeah.
And then you're like an F tier. You're like an F tier rape victim.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like
Yeah.
an F tier rape victim. Big
Yeah.
lizard in my backyard.
Yeah, that'd be so funny. And like if you're like disappointed or something, like, oh, why wasn't I a good victim? Is there something wrong with how I suffered? Like, what are you implying?
Did you fucking hate me? Do you want me to kill myself?
Yeah, yeah. Do you literally want me to die?
Yeah.
I've been informed that I was a poor rape victim.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just saying, like, wouldn't it be horrible to like get raped and then log on to Twitter and find that you were rated like an F tier rape victim?
Yeah, we heard that part. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I've always like found it interesting. I mean, I guess I kind of get it, right? How like generally jokes are like killing people, right, are okay. Suicide jokes are iffy, but like rape jokes like completely off the table when you're not talking to normies, right?
Yeah, I hate that.
Like,
I even have like normie friends who used to make rape jokes and then stopped. And if I mentioned them, they're like, "Oh, hey, that's not cool." I'm like, "You used to fucking talk about rape when we were kids."
yeah, so I don't even know who you are anymore.
Yeah.
In kitchens I've worked at, you can just like make any joke that you can possibly think of, and it's like a one-upsmanship kind of contest. So
That's good.
Yeah, but in order to kind of like counteract that, right? Whenever I joke about killing somebody, I always specify that I'm killing the person for like sexual gratification, right? So I'm able.
That helps.
I'm able to like to keep the I'm able to keep the edginess of the rape while talking about murdering them instead.
Yeah. That's a good way to sneak it in.
It's funny that rape is much edgier. Talking about rape is much edgier than talking about murder.
Yeah, like that stuff is funny.
Objectively worse, obviously.
You know what I find particularly funny about a certain kind of leftists? They're not as common anymore, but they used to be, where they'd be like, you can't compare anything to rape. To compare anything to rape is just like intrinsically wrong. But they're also making like this meta comparison where rape has to be worse than everything else. So they are comparing things to rape and comparing rape to other things. So it's like this funny thing where it has to have like this almost ineffable status where even if you're comparing it to something else, it's not a real comparison. And if you try to make a real comparison, it's like you're almost like committing idolatry to like this pure evil that is almost worshipped. Like it was just like so funny.
Yeah, no, dude, there's also leftists like that, right? And they'll get like tons of like attention on Twitter, right? Like it's mostly Rashims though, and they're kind of rare, but like who are like, yeah, like rape is like this like sacred crime, right? And they're like very like left wing woke about everything except rapists who should be like castrated in public and made to eat their own balls.
Yeah.
But they're very very lefty, but they're just it's I remember like some like having this what is it? Do you guys remember the fucking reaction image that was popular for a while where it was like a picture of like a lion that had like a horrified expression on his face and it's captioned like he realized he's not built for this or something like that? I would like respond to those threads and be like leftoids when they realize that rehabilitation includes people they don't like or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is like kind of like my looser like lighter version of like your get over it thread, right? Not nearly as provocative, but still kind of doing the whole like, stop being a pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I've like talked about this before with people, right? And it's like I kind of have to, express it differently, but like murder is obviously worse than rape. Obviously worse, far worse. Just completely obviously.
Yeah.
Me.
Obviously, unless it's against the president of the United States.
Yeah, that's just a seditious traitor who tried to overturn the election. Like the moral authority resides within citizens under any serious liberalism to kind of like restore justice.
Yeah, that's what originalism says.
Yeah.
I prefer the interpretation that it's just like okay to rape Donald Trump.
Yeah. That's like a Louis C.K. joke where he talks about like, instead of like going back in time and killing Hitler, all we have to do is just rape him. Like, oh, should we invade Poland? Oh, I gotta take a shower. I don't feel so good. Like, oh, it's so good. It's funny because like I uphold
Stupid
Louis
idea.
C.K. as like the golden standard of how to like make like tasteful rape jokes, but it's hard to do that in recent years. You know, like here's this guy who kind of like
I do
sort of assaulted his fans, who has the most tasteful rape jokes ever.
Yeah. It's a. Yeah, it's like
I do feel like kind of like part of the point of making a rape joke is that it's not like going to be straightforwardly tasteful.
Yeah. Well, this is me. Just like
anyway,
it's like
I have a new idea. I have a new idea for a bit.
Okay.
You're gonna enjoy this. My new bit is that I'm going to try to convince Lexi that rape is okay if it's committed against Donald Trump or Elon Musk.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
I am in support this.
There's a non-trivial
I need to
chance
admit
that you
that.
can like make that work. Yeah.
Right, like I think I can get her to say that, unironically.
Yeah.
Like the screenshot, the factorum. I'll do it on an Etch a Sketch.
Yeah. It's written in stone. This is gonna happen.
No, but like I'm just imagining like the perfect screenshot of like Lexi endorsing raping Donald Trump. I need that now.
Yeah.
I have a new aspiration.
And just hold it over her head for the rest of the time.
Oh,
Like,
man.
hey, remember that time you supported rape?
If there were, and then just forever bring that up.
Yeah.
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 No,
This is what we do around here. We theorize on ways to torture low IQ people.
I'm not. So like, when people are actually being like horrible to her, I generally defend her.
Oh yeah, like actually bullying Lexi is off the table. Like that's no.
Yeah, dude,
I feel like we have somewhat of an understanding where like she does get that the stuff from me is just kind of like friendly sort of teasing, whereas like from Rachel and Kate and everything, it's actually just like
actual well, yeah, like they're bad people.
Yeah.
Like their intention is just to hurt. Like okay, like when Kate got mad at me because I kind of like told you guys to stop like bullying self-ownership warrior because it was going too far. Like Kate explicitly said that like, oh yeah, I know that self-ownership warrior was getting uncomfortable and I wanted to hurt him, and just like not even processing how that makes her look evil. Amazing. She's a fucking psychopath. Like seriously.
I was just drunk. And I understand that she doesn't have a lot of like a frame of reference to understanding
Basic ethics.
everything is about everyone. Sure. Yeah.
Or anything like being a good person.
Like understanding that
like it's just actually just like really bad.
there's moral obligations that aren't just about like how other people should treat her.
Yeah.
And how she's I mean we talked about this 500 times, but yeah.
Oh, it's worth talking about because it's just like it's amazing, like how it all plays out and works and yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking two troons made of pure evil.
And Lexi.
You have so many wonderful turns of phrase.
Oh yeah, I almost invent new insults on a daily basis. It's a fun hobby.
No, they're like some of your banger tweets, like some like the things that you say there. Like I like incorporate like into my daily, my everyday vocabulary, right? Like I mentioned this before, but like a panic attack approach to reality is so good.
Yeah.
It's so like effective.
Yeah. Well, it's also like effective in like this day and age where you get banned for like more common insults. So if you just find a way to be even more creative and insulting in like a heterodox way, you can avoid stuff like suspension, and you can just like again it just hits harder anyway.
Yeah. I mean, also accusing like people like when they like mischaracterize your position, like based on other things you say, like accuse them of having like just like deficient like pattern seeking faculties or something.
Yeah, or they're like cognitively irrelevant or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the most, well, I mean, one of the classics, and this has been around for decades, is just accusing somebody of being confused.
Oh yeah,
That
conceptually
would never get
confused.
old.
Yeah, conceptually
Yeah.
confused. There you go. That's what humor Woodbury believes about everyone he talks about. He talks to, I mean.
Yeah.
The Springtime of Nations account, you know, the Springtime of Nations account, Cab. What's his name? Who runs it?
I
Alex
love it,
Gleason.
like, you, like, reply guy Zach.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, and Alex Gleason just bumped a thread from the 2nd of March 2023
Yeah.
where I just had like a take on what Benjamin Tucker would have thought about anarcho-capitalists from literally a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And he just replied to this thread from back then and just said bump. What am I supposed to, like, I don't think...
Oh. That's Alex Gleason showing his age.
I don't think the position that I take in this thread is not very ambiguous or hard to understand.
Yeah. Wait, why is that relevant?
Just like the fact that he was thinking about this thread and then a year and a half later just posted bump because he asked me. So I said,
oh yeah, that's the crucial context you left out.
The thread was
like he was asking a question about it.
The last thing I said in the thread was, yeah, the last thing I said in the thread was, I agree that Tucker would have considered Rothbard an anarchist. And then back then he said, then what do you dispute? And I didn't reply to him. And then
so now he's bumping the thread.
Yeah. A year and a half later.
Here's my confused question. Bump. A year later. High quality.
Then what do you dispute? And it's just like basically, I'm not reading the whole thread, but like basically I think what I was saying here was just that, like, you know, Tucker's and Rothbard's views of property rights like have some similarities, but they also like are, in terms of like concrete cases, going to come to very different conclusions a lot of the time. But like, you know, you can like he can say over and over again that, you know, this is kind of like superficial similarity between Tucker's view of non-invasion and the NAP, and that's like not wrong, but like.
All right, so I lost Ed here, and I'm like involved in a conversation, so I'm just gonna end the stream here. Classically short ending.